Hey friends, welcome back to another video. I am super excited to be here because, oh my god, my phone. Okay, take two. I am super pumped to be here today because, other than plants, my second greatest passion in life is cleaning and organizing, which sounds pathetic saying out loud, but that's my truth. And I am here today to kind of just show you all the things that I do to stay organized in this hobby because I think it's so important. I want to stress that these tips that I'm going to share with you today are not meant to be like aesthetic. I'm not trying to say that you need to put everything that's already in a bag into a separate bin or a separate bag. I basically just want to give you some ideas on how I maintain the cleanliness and maintain the organization with all of the things that we have to kind of just juggle with the pest treatments and the fertilizing and the amendments that we use. I think that a lot of people are depriving themselves of how good they could have it in this hobby if they just get a little organized. And yeah, I hope after watching today's video, you even get 1 or 2 tips to kind of help you out. So that's going to be the main focus of today's video, but I can't really do that without showing you the entire plant room. And it's kind of been a while since I've done like a plant room tour. That's going to be like secondary focus. I'm not going to go crazy in detail of everything, just because there's a lot of things that I still want to do, but I am going to show you around and just kind of show you what the layout is and everything that I've got going on in here. Usually I would start by getting my phone on a gimbal, kind of showing you around, but I think I'm going to just do it step by step first, like one piece at a time. And then once I've gone through all of the moving parts that I want to show you, then I'll do like a loop-de-loo around the plant room. So seriously, guys, I'm so pumped to show you this because it has been just 3 weeks of mania. And please, that I'm not saying that you have to be manic to get to this point. I do not wish a manic episode and a 3-week long manic episode on anyone. My body is still feeling the pain from just constant moving, lifting, carrying, throwing things away, but I'm done. And it feels great. But I've done a lot of things in this plant room. I have a lot of different plans that I'm gonna kind of talk you through because I am gonna do a little repot today as well. It's kind of like it's a little mix of everything in today's video. So I'm gonna start by scooting over this way and I'm gonna start in the entrance of the plant room. So what you're seeing here is my remaining like industrial plant shelf. This door right here is my laundry, and this is the entrance to the plant room. It's like this tiny little hallway. So when you first walk in, it's this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, technically 6 tier shelf. This is where I dedicate putting all of my props, all of my rehabs, personal plants that need to be repotted, my seedlings, my seeds, kind of all of the projects, the things that I want to keep an eye on and things like that. And I think that this is probably one of the best things that I have added to my plant room. I'm gonna throw the dimensions up on the screen of this shelf. I did get this on Amazon. I used to have this one on wheels. I took off the wheels because this was just basically gonna be the permanent place for it. And it is decked out in Barina T5 light bars. It's a mix of the 2-foot long T5s and the 1-foot long T5s in black and white. I am doing another sponsored video with Barina. They sent me some new lights. So I'm gonna be redoing all of this in a video so that it can be all of the black T5s. I actually might wanna be adding more lights because it's a little bit dark towards the back. I want to give you a closer look at all of the little details because I recently did something that I love, and this is one of the tips that I hope that you guys kind of pick up today and adopt in your own house. So you can see that the entire shelf is organized into separate bins and that no like single plant is just sitting on a shelf with no house. Everything is sorted into their house. So up here, I've got like big bins of some seedlings that still need to be acclimatized down to lower humidity. I have more of my seedlings that I'm kind of growing out as a personal project. No, these are not mealy bugs. I not sprayed, but I sprinkled diatomaceous earth not too long ago. The real thing that I wanted to show you on here is this little nifty idea that I had. So before, I used to just print out a tag, and then I would stick it on the actual box. But then I realized with like how much things change literally on a week-to-week basis that I was needing to like switch out the label so often. So I'm like, you know what? Why don't I just put these little like Velcro stickers on there, and then I can make tags like this and just always have things to switch it out like when I need. So yeah, that has been one thing that just, I don't know why, it just makes me so happy. And I really hope that you do it because it just makes it so much easier to know exactly what's in each bin. Before, I used to kind of just like shove everything into a bin that they fit in. But now I'm like, okay, I know exactly how many personal plants I have. I know exactly what needs to be, you know, prepped for sale, and I know what's in these bins. I don't mix like my personal propagations anymore with things that I'm gonna sell. They are all sorted into their house, like I said. And that is one thing that has really, really changed the game, honestly, for me, in terms of making sure that I'm not missing things that need to get done. And when I, you know, need to make a couple extra bucks, that I'm like, okay, what do I have for sale? I know that I can either just go straight into my sale bin, or I can go into my prop bin. Everything in there are plants that I'm going to be selling. They are not personal props. Most of my personal props are under here. What else do I have to show you? I have a bunch of these like sticky traps that are hanging on these magnet hooks. I need to switch out the traps because they are filthy. They're so gross. I have my trusty little apron here that is from Bros with Hose. I have 2 pins from some friends, and this was honestly just display. I just thought it like looked really cool, but look, it's got like a worm, it's got a ladybug, and there's someone else. Oh, a butterfly. And I was like, you know what, this is just like the cutest little gardening apron, but I really don't have a use for it. But honestly, on the days where I'm just like running around, watering plants, trimming off dead leaves, spraying plants that I see have pests, to wear this and have these nice big pockets where I can put like a scissor, I can literally put my spray bottle with spinosad, and then when I get stuff on my hands, I can literally just like wipe it on the apron and be done with it. It's been so much fun. It makes me feel super legit, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, that is like a must now in my plant room. And then up there is just a mixture of storage things and a yucca cutting that I have no idea what to do with. I actually brought that home from California, but now I'm thinking I probably don't want it, so I will likely pot it up and give it away to someone. That is my loamy composter that I am no longer using at the moment because it's squeaking. I am still waiting to hear back from Lomi whether they're going to send a new unit, which I'm not really sure I want, or I don't know. Anyway, so that's that. But again, the main focus of this area is this. It's so good. Please do this. Please do it. You're gonna love it. I promise you, it's gonna change your life. So yeah, that is my little, I guess we'll call it a project shelf. Okay, now we're getting into the real fun stuff. So this little guy back here, who I call Drum Set, just for the sake of this video, I will explain the name. Again, I'm sorry if you already know this story, but basically one of my favorite movies of all time is Step Brothers, and Dale, he has a room that is like his dedicated sort of music room, and his prized possession is his drum set. And so yeah, I have always referenced my plant room as the Beat Lab because that's what he called his music room, is the Beat Lab. And so this is my drum set. This is what used to be my rolling potting station, I guess. And I did a whole video kind of showing it, and I was just like oogling over it, and I just thought I was a mad genius. And there have been some changes. So this is actually now just my rolling plant supply cart, I guess. So some of you guys know that I have my little IKEA cart, which I will show you next, where I used to keep everything like my mycorrhizal inoculants, my fertilizers, scissors, all of those kinds of supplies. It was just like all 3 shelves. But in my mind, I was like, okay, how can I make this more functional for when I'm actually using it? So when I think about when I'm repotting, typically I will either sit on the floor or I will just sit here and get like one of my folding tables out. And you know, I'll have all my repotting stuff. I run over to my cabinet to get all my pots. I run over to my cart to get all my fertilizers and stuff like that. And then I run over here to get my substrate. So I'm like, how can I condense this so that I'm not having to keep going this way and that way and it's all just in one spot? So the goal with this is to basically have all my substrates in here. And I really don't want to have any more than what can fit in these bins. I don't want to call it panic buying, but I think I get overly, not ambitious, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but when I'm buying substrates, I'm like, oh yeah, I need more perlite, I need more pon. When I already have a little bit left and I always like think like I'm gonna run out, so I want to have extra, but then I end up needing to store all these big bags of things somewhere. So I'm going to just really only restock when I absolutely need it. The plants will be fine if they need to wait an extra week or 2 for substrates to get here or whatever. And I used to keep my excess substrates in my closet, but I will tell you why I am not doing that anymore. For the most part, everything fits in here. I just have a few more bags of other things that I'm getting through that haven't fit on here yet. But yeah, I have literally everything. So I have pumice, I have my lechuza pon, I have my pon here, my moss, soil, perlite, tree fern fiber, worm castings, horticultural charcoal, pre-made soil, and my fir bark. That is all right here. And then I have this bin here of just all, this is all leca, because I do use quite a bit of leca when I'm repotting. And then a must for me when I was saying like I want to make an all-inclusive, I want to make like a supply station that is super functional and I really don't want to have to get up and keep grabbing things. So a must for me was having my garbage can inside of the rolling cart. And so yeah, I've got this guy just tucked into here. As you can hear, it's rattling. So it's this that's rattling. It's actually all of this. So something that I really would want to do in the future is get a like container. I just really like the shape of this one. Let me just bring it up close. I thrifted this and yeah, it just fits everything really nicely, but you can hear it's super loud. I'm not really rolling this thing around at all. So it's not a huge deal, but when I am doing repots in here at night when Archie is sleeping and he's right across the hall from me, there is 0 soundproofing in this apartment. When I'm grabbing things, it's really loud. So I kind of am trying to find a way to quiet things down so that I can do more repotting at night again. Details on this rolling cart. I'm gonna throw in the dimensions of it here. Again, this is another one that I got from Amazon. And I'm gonna, again, take you up close and just kind of show you the little pieces that have made this like my perfect supply cart. Okay, just kind of showing you the substrates again, because when I was explaining it, you couldn't actually see it in the video. But yeah, I'm using the IKEA, I'm not gonna be able to pronounce it, I will throw it up on the screen. I'm using those bins and I just feel like it fits everything really perfectly. I like that these lids don't like, I mean, after time, it doesn't really like snap. So this is a new one, but you can see it's like a very like minimal snap. It's not like you have to really put a lot of effort into opening it, which I like. It just makes it so much easier. So yeah, 3 of these fit really nicely stacked, one on top of another. In a perfect world, I would have been able to do like 3 across and 3 down, but it doesn't fit. All of these lids kind of hit each other. So yeah, this setup with the garbage can was actually quite perfect. And then I installed a hook here. I just drilled a hole and I just have my little broom, which I love. I think this is another thing that should be a must in the plant hobby. Not even like a big one, but a really compact little one. I use this more than anything in terms of like a sweeper, because I have quite a few, which I'll show you. And then up here again, these substrates doesn't fit 3 across, but it fits nicely with this. This is also from IKEA, and they actually came out with some new colors. I was kind of thinking about getting one of the colorful ones because I just want to bring more color into the plant room. But yeah, it fits all nicely with the 2 or the 4 other bins. And then up here, my sister actually was nice enough to print me on her Cricut. She printed me a little sticker. This is actually just electrical tape that I put in the front to kind of make it look less industrial, which it's gonna look industrial no matter what, but I think it looks better than like having this exposed. So yeah, just some electrical tape, and then I put the sticker over it. Over here, I just have some magnets that are housing my little earwax scraper. If you guys don't know, I'm not just like keeping it there just in case like my ear itches or something. I use that to clean my chunks, to clean my props, to just unfurl leaves. Like this is my go-to tool for almost everything, which is why it has a home right where I can grab it. And then I got this from my sweet friend Sydney, and I just kind of hooked it on here for a little, you know, a little accessory. I don't have anything on the right side here because it is tucked against this wall. I'm gonna move it back to where it's supposed to be. So yeah, it's tucked right there, so like it's not really accessible. So everything that I want to hang is actually on this side, which, okay, maybe I will rotate it and show you. I got all of these little hooks pretty much from like dollar stores, Daiso, Umomo, and this top one is dedicated primarily to all of my towels. I use towels a lot. I think using paper towels in the plant hobby is a little bit wasteful, so I try and just use like scrap towels. These are ones that have stains on them. Like these all used to be in my kitchen, but I just repurpose them for plants now. And this little, and then on this hook I have another one of my little brooms. I used to use this when I had like a really big potting table. I'm not really reaching for this one anymore, but I'm not quite ready to let it go. And then I have my LTH meter right here from Houseplant Journal. And then, yeah, that's all I have on that side. And then in the container that I showed you earlier, this is where I keep all of like my scissors, X-Acto knife. I use these for like mixing mycorrhizal inoculants, whatever. I have this to put holes in pots and stuff. Just kind of things that I reach for pretty often. And then this little guy has all my pens and my markers. This is a little bottle of spinosad. I've got my CalMag in here, and then these are all of my mycorrhizal inoculants. So all of the stuff that I literally like pretty much every week that I use, it all stays up here. And then on the other side of the bench is my coffee. So I have this here specifically for my drinks. And then I've hung all of my like bottles here. So this one is for Spino. This one is just a mix usually of water, alcohol, and like some kind of cast iron soap. And then this here is just water. I actually put a string, like a fishing wire here, so that it doesn't like fall forward into the plant, and it kind of just stops the bottle right where the plants like will be. And then you can see that I have installed a clear shelf here, and this had a different purpose when I originally put it in, and then I changed my mind, but I still find it quite useful. So I just have a plant here. This is my variegated ginger spiral, which I love very much. And then I have all of the tags for my bins that already have like little stickers on them, so I just have to like stick it on, and it makes it really easy. Up here is kind of like my MacGyvered shelf. I was actually going to buy like a shelf to go across here, but I was like, you know what? I don't want to spend any more money. I don't really care for it to look super aesthetic. I just need it to be functional. So I used one of my extra like wire shelves, and it is just sitting on top of here. It is being held up with some fishing wire, and it's also zip tied to this shelf here. And then you can see that I've put in one 1 foot Barina bar so that my plants here I was thinking about putting more plants here, but I don't think I will be. I'm not really sure yet, but in case I wanted to put more plants here, I have light. And it's also nice to just have more lighting above my my potting area or my supply area. I actually might add a second light back here. And then of course, the disco balls. I just love my disco balls. They make me very, very happy. I actually have more in the corner, and I wish that like this thing could like auto rotate so that the sparkles like actually move, but that's okay. And then on top of this shelf, I have this little thing that my friend Jess made me. This is actually for the car, like you put essential oils and it makes your car smell good, but it actually kept falling in my car, and so I just put it here because I think it's really cute. Up here is where I keep my pots now. So I used to keep them in the cabinets behind me, but I wanted them to be more accessible. It's not amazing because I'm actually quite short. I'm 4'11" and a half, and so it's kind of hard to reach, but it's not the end of the world. I have a stool in here. I'm not reaching up there like 50 million times. If I'm doing a repot, I'm gonna grab a few, bring it down, whatever. So I have some larger pots here, and then I have pretty much 2 to like 5-inch pots in here. And then I have this acrylic cutting board, which if you were ever freaking influenced by some influencer online telling you to get an acrylic cutting board because it looks aesthetic, don't ever get it. It doesn't work. It's awful. It scratches, it slips everywhere. It's terrible. Don't fall for that propaganda. But I didn't want to throw it away, so I am using it as like a second shelf, and I just keep my water jug up there and my fertilizer. I used to have my TPS1 in a bottle like this, but the minerals, it just kept like, it was so messy. It kept like just coming out. It was just so, yeah, it was a mess. So I'm just keeping it in the bottle again, and it's easy enough to just grab it, pour some, and then be done. But yeah, that is the little area that I have for all of my plant supplies. I pretty much have everything I need to do a repot, and it makes me very happy. So like I said, this shelf was actually supposed to be for an iPad. So I have an iPad that I gave to my sister. She's not using it anymore, so she's gonna give it back. And I thought, like, I wanna be able to watch my shows, watch YouTube, just watch things while I'm in here repotting. And then I thought, you know what? Why don't I do myself even better and just do a full-blown TV. So let me turn the light around. This was actually, don't mind the mess. This is actually an idea from my friend Kaylee. I will plug in her handle on the screen. She has her TV on a rolling cart, and she just kind of rolls it around in whatever room she's in. I'm gonna turn it on so you can see the magic. But I'm a big TV person. The TV feels like a friend. It feels like someone's in the room with me. It sets the vibes, and there's nothing that I love more than watching a good like scary movie while I'm repotting. So yeah, I had this extra TV. We got a new TV for our bedroom, so we had this extra one that I was just gonna give away, but I was like, you know, I don't have one in the plant room, and now I do. So it's on this rolling TV stand. I will link the one that I bought in the description, but there's so many. My preference would have been to put it on one that, I'm gonna throw it up on the screen. It just looks a lot better. And then I thought, if I don't use this again in whatever new place we move into, the other one can actually just look like a nice TV stand in a room, but it wouldn't be functional. If I had to access all of these things or access the closet, I'd have to like keep dragging it. And so having a rolling plant cart or having a rolling TV stand was just so much easier. And this TV is a 55-inch, and it rolls no problem. It's like a piece of cake. And it does have locks on the wheels and everything. So, and then this is like for a laptop, which I am just using to keep like all my filming equipment on right now. But yeah, it's really nice to be able to just literally sit in my plant room and have a movie playing, and it literally changed the entire vibe of my plant room. I love being in here now. It is like a sacred time. I literally look forward to my repots now. I was kind of like dreading it at first, like There was a time where repots felt like a chore, but now every day I'm like, okay, who am I gonna repot? Which movie am I gonna watch? Or what show am I gonna watch? Or, you know, catching up on YouTube. And yeah, this is amazing because I can actually connect my headphones to the TV so that I can just have it playing in my ears and I don't have to worry about sound and Archie waking up and stuff. But guys, it's such a dumb thing to like be so excited about, but like, I don't love traveling. I don't love buying like expensive designer bags and stuff, but I love my gadgets and my electronics and specifically my TVs. We have a TV in every room. It's insane, but we're a TV family. We love watching movies, we love watching shows, and being able to combine like watching shows with repotting. Literally, I don't know if you could tell the excitement. I'm just so happy. And the other day I actually just put on like the fireplace channel, and it was just like a nice, like if I had like jazz music playing, it was a whole thing, you know, just vibing here by myself. But yeah, if you're looking for a way to like incorporate a TV, and obviously you don't need one this obnoxiously large, but if it were up to me, I probably would have chosen a smaller one, but this is like if I was buying a TV, but this is the size we had. So yeah, if you're looking for a way to have a TV in your plant space, I highly recommend one of these. Thank you so much, Kaylee, for sharing your little idea with the world. It has changed my life, and I love you for that. So yeah, this is the new big addition to the room, which is amazing. I'll watch you later. So now you're probably wondering, well, where do you repot? Oh, I forgot to mention, the reason that I did not want to use my rolling potting station as a repotting station anymore is because it's a little bit too tall. If it were like 6 to 8 inches lower, it would have been perfect. But again, I'm built like a Smurf, and so it's a little bit too high, and like it just hurts my shoulders. So let me show you my new rolling potting station. Buckle up, boys. Oh wait, I need to clear this off for the grand reveal. Da 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 da. Oh, you can't even see it. Try again, try again, try again. Da 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 da. Ah, yeah, still can't really see it. I don't actually see my feet though. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. So this used to be my plant cart, my plant supply cart, and now it is my rolling potting station. And when I had this epiphany, I was like, you are a genius. I will say the only drawback to having the potting station on here is that it's got this lip, so I can't just like rest my arm. I mean, I can, but it's not very comfortable. But you know, we can look past that. It's okay. I'm not repotting these days for like hours and hours. If anything, the longest I'll repot is like 20-30 minutes. So yeah, let me give you a look at this bad boy. I can't remember the name of this rolling cart. I know they still sell it at IKEA. I think it's called the Nicifors supply cart. I can't remember, but obviously I will plug it in. Yeah, it's got 3 levels. The top level, as you can see, is mesh. So it's got this wire, and I'm gonna do a demonstration for you at some point in this video, but I wanted it to be able to just catch all of the fallout. So in comes my fallout bin. This is another one of those bins from IKEA, and basically I can just repot directly on here. All of the soil and whatever just falls into this bin, and I don't have to worry about it. So that is the use for the top. This is the only use for the second cabinet, and then the third, or cabinet, shelf. And then the bottom houses all of the stuff that I use pretty often in terms of like pest treatments and what else do I have in here? Like my plant tags, my labeler, hydrogen peroxide, alcohol. I do have like overflow supply stuff in my cabinet, but these are the things that I'm reaching for all the time. The stuff that's like hidden away in the cabinet, those are things that I really just refill these with, or that I don't use very, very often. And then on the side here is, I'm gonna start here. On the side here is my little basket where I keep all of my trowels and my scoops. And then I use these for my sourdough. These are just like shower caps. And I put it under here because, oh, I put it under here because when I'm repotting and there's like soil still on the trowels, I don't want it to like fall on the ground. So everything just gets caught in here and I can replace it once it starts to get really dirty. And then on this side is my new hand vacuum. So I knew for a long time that I wanted a hand vacuum for the plant room, but I was waiting for Prime Day and I got a pretty good deal on this. I think I paid like $22 for this guy and it does everything. Let me change the angle. This is awkward. It's like I'm the headless YouTuber again. There are so many different kinds of hand vacuums, but I wanted certain attachments and I wanted it to be a certain strength because a lot of them that you'll find on the market are just not strong enough to pick up debris like you need it to. So this one was strong enough to grab heavy things like like pumice, lechuzapon, things like that. And then it had like the cartridge where you could just clean the filter. You didn't have to like keep buying new ones, and you can literally do dust, you can do fine gritty materials and it won't ruin it. And so yeah, this just had everything that I needed. So it is a sucker and a blower, which I wanted because I want to be able to clean the dust in the house. I want to clean the keyboards. I wanted it to do both things. But this is the attachment that I was after, this guy, the dusting one, and also this guy. I use this a lot in the house just to get all the dog hair, the dust off the surfaces. It has been amazing. And so yeah, it has like a bunch of different nozzle attachments for the sucker and the blower. And I will kind of give you a demonstration, I guess, of how it works. Not how, I mean, you guys know how a vacuum works, but I'll show you how it performs after I do my potting demonstration. So the sucky thing is that Archie, it's kind of weird. He does not mind the Dyson, the sound of the Dyson. He actually likes the Dyson. When I'm vacuuming out there, he like tries to chase it, tries to grab it. But this one, I think it's because it's at like a different decibel. It is quite loud and it's really strong and it scares the crap out of him. And so I can't really use it as much as I want to because I just feel bad. He gets so scared, but he's not home right now. So we're gonna have some fun. I'm trying to think of which attachment I want to use to show you. I'll use this one. Okay, I think I'll do the demonstration now before, well, really the only other thing I need to show you is my plant room shelf. So maybe I could just do that at the end because you guys know what that looks like. It's the same thing, haven't changed anything in the back. Oh, one thing that I forgot to tell you. So another thing that I like about having this cart free for repotting is that on the days where I need to haul a bunch of plants to my shower, I can just load this baby up and just drag it over to my shower and do things in bulk. Because before I was just grabbing things one by one, or I would fill a bin and I would have to carry the bin over there. But then once everything is watered, it's like a lot heavier. So I've already done it once. I treated all of my plants with spinosad. It took all day, but I wanted to do like one big pest treatment, and this shaved down the time by just so much. I was so happy rolling this thing around. I probably would have like taken maybe 2.5 days to do what I did, but because of this cart, it just, yeah, shaved that time down, which is amazing. So I'm gonna do a quick repot demonstration just to show you the, just to show you how she works and show you the functionality of it. Yeah, so like I said, the only drawback really to using this as a potting table is the fact that my arms are hitting this. So I was actually thinking of putting in like a fluffy something, kind of like those, swimming, like the foam floaties that you can just cut. I am trying to find a black one and one that's not so big, maybe a smaller one, and then I can just pop it on here so that when I put my arms down, it's like not so harsh. But yeah, I love this as a potting table because literally I set up shop here every single night. Right here, I turn on my TV and I pop my headphones in and I'm in the zone. That's mom time, it's me time. So the first one that I'm gonna be repotting is this one that I just got from my friend Jing, and she got this from Hoffmani High, and I will plug both of their handles on the screen, and this is a dress, and it's really, really cute. It's in this tiny little pot though, and so I wanna get it into this 4-inch pot. It's not humongous, but you know, it'll do. Oh, one thing I wanted to mention is that I no longer have a designated spot for my dirty vessels. I used to have a bin that was just sitting on the floor, and when it would fill up, I would take it all to the sink and like wash in bulk. But I'm trying to adopt a new habit of, I'm actually gonna reuse this soil because it's probably not that old. Yeah, I'm trying to adopt this new habit of just washing my vessels as soon as I'm done repotting and not letting them kind of pile up, because I think that's where I get really overwhelmed when like I can see like a huge, you know, a huge bin of them, and then it just takes so much longer rather than just taking the extra like 5 whatever minutes to wash it in the moment. It's just, yeah, it's something that I want to get in the habit of. I've been working on it, but I really do have the tendency of just like kind of leaving it somewhere, and then I just end up stacking all of them, and then it turns into a pile anyway. But, you know, working on it. I think that in the last year that I've prioritized getting my plant stuff really organized and functional, it's just made it so much more enjoyable for me, and I don't get as overwhelmed. And there was someone who commented like a couple years ago who was saying that she just keeps all of like her supplies on her balcony, and like every time she knows she has to repot something, she just dreads it because like, you know, she has to go out on the balcony, pull things out, there's spider webs everywhere. And like, even if you only have like a designated small cabinet or one supply cart, even that can make a difference. But you know, I know everyone's circumstances are different, so I'm not judging. I'm just like, if you have the means and you're able to get really organized, it's something that I just highly recommend doing. My friend Sydney is an angel, and she bought me these little mesh nets that I can use at the bottom of my pots. And if it's too big, you can just cut it to size. So yeah, it like prevents the soil from like all spilling out, because these drainage holes are quite big. So I'm just gonna cut this one down to size. Just stick this guy in there, and then it covers the holes. Just put everything in here. You can't really see all the spill out that's coming out of here and just going straight into my bin. And I actually got that idea from a video that I saw on Facebook of someone who was showing how she organizes her like outdoor greenhouse, and she had like a really like baller setup with like a whole chute, and it was just crazy. But I was like, yeah, it's such a great idea to be able to just repot directly onto a surface that just catches all of the soil. And because before I used to just like repot in bins, and it's easy enough to do that, but sometimes with like the bigger pots, it's really difficult to just repot inside of a bin. So yeah, that's been like another thing that I've really loved, is this little rolling plant cart. I've actually added orchiata to this soil, and it's just, I love having orchiata in my soil. It's such a luxury, but it makes, I don't know, it really makes the soil feel so rich. Okay, and then the next one that I'm gonna do is this RA5 Fort Sherman. Why am I showing you the tag? This RA5 Fort Sherman Ralphinum. This was a cross that me and Alice did together. A lot of the seedlings are just so sharp and narrow and beautiful. Like, I kind of wish that I held on to more of the seedlings. I was really, at the time, I was really overwhelmed with my collection, and I wasn't really in a place to whatchamacall, like kind of not hoard, but just to kind of hold on to all of the seedlings and kind of see how they grow out. I just wanted them gone. But yeah, now that I'm like seeing how everyone's is growing out, I'm like, oh, I should have kept that one, or you know, it's just, yeah. So I'm gonna put this in this pot here, and this mesh is probably not big enough. I think she sent me a bigger size, but oh no, this is perfect. Typically I wouldn't just like empty out a pot like that onto here. I usually will just like put it straight into the garbage, but you know, try something new. Didn't really like it. Probably won't do that again. I'm slowly switching all of my pots back to circle pots from these square ones. I really do like that these square ones are so tall. Like this is I think this is a 3-inch diameter, and like look how tall it is. Usually 3-inch pots, you're gonna see them only be like about this tall, but it's just hard to find cover pots for them. Like I like that I can just easily do something like this. And so yeah, I really like the bigger holes. I just find it easier to kind of flush my anthurium. Someone asked if I was still growing in no drainage, and yeah, trust me, I will always grow in no drainage, but my anthurium I am still weary of, so I try and grow my anthurium with drainage if I can, just so that I can flush it out, because I feel like they're just way more sensitive to mineral buildup and stuff like that. Oh my gosh, there's always this like sense of relief when I do a repot. I'm like, it's like taking off your bra at night, you know? It just feels so nice and refreshing. All right, I think I'm just gonna do a little bit of CalMag. Typically with a new repot, I like to like run it under the sink first. But I find that when I'm doing these, like if I'm filming and I'm doing a repot, if I don't water it then and there, I'm gonna forget to do it. Cause then I'll just jump to the next thing and start cleaning up. And then I realize that I hadn't watered it after the repot and it's just like incredibly dry. So I'm not taking any chances. And then I'm gonna use my vacuum. So yeah, I like having this little hand vacuum here like right next to me, just so I can get little spills and you know, whatever else without having to go all the way to my room to go grab my Dyson. I was thinking of just getting like a full-blown vacuum just for my plant room, but it just seems a little excessive. I don't want to have 2 vacuums. I already have a Tinco, which does vacuum. Archie is also scared of that one, so can only do that when he's not in the house. But otherwise, this little thing does the job. I haven't charged it yet. I've used it so many times and it's still going strong. Yeah, that was a very anticlimactic demonstration, but I just wanted to show you a way to kind of keep clean and be able to do repots without, I don't know, without having to like grab things this and there. Everything is just right here and makes me very happy. So this is kind of like a functional area for me and the space that I have in this plant room. Ideally, I would love to have like one of those, you know, those big jugs that are like in like water tanks. I'd love to have one of those just kind of sitting around somewhere with like one of those automatic spouts, so that I can always have water handy if I need to if I need to water my plants. But truth be told, I'm using about 20 liters of water, maybe like 22 liters of water to water my entire plant room right now. So that would, I don't know, I feel like it would go pretty quickly anyway. This is my setup right now for my watering days. So I have one jug here that I use for things like mosquito dunks and whatever, like if I want to make like a concentrate or a concentrate of like fertilizer or something. But this is like my go-to. So it's just this 18 quart bucket that I got from a like restaurant supply store. And then I have this automatic sprayer, which yeah, just you just stick the bottom of it into here, and then I can walk around and spray all of my plants without having to move the bucket around because the hose is long enough. And there's a bunch of different attachments. I'll link this one in the description so that you can kind of see. But yeah, I'm able to get my watering done pretty quickly, and I don't have to keep running back over to the sink filling up a jug. It's just really nice. So if you're looking for a watering idea, this is this is my go-to watering method right now. Another thing that I would have loved to add to my repotting station is a sink. That's, again, in a perfect world, I would love to have a sink. I think if I ever owned a house, I would do my plant room in the basement or something if I had a sink down there. It's kind of spooky, kind of creepy, but kind of love the idea of having a little woman cave down there. But just having a sink would just be life-changing, and not having to kind of intermingle the plant things in your kitchen sink, and being able to just throw all your dirty vessels in there. So yeah, it's not a perfect world, so I don't have a sink, and I probably will never have a sink in my plant room, but you take what you can get. So that is that. I think I'm going to show you the plant shelf now. Since I've shown you everything that I really wanted to show you, let me give you kind of a peek at what the entire plant room looks like. I will say that the plant room looks bigger than it is on camera. It's actually quite small in real life, but it's more space than I could ever ask for. Honestly, I'm not complaining about it. I'm just saying don't be fooled by the camera because it looks bigger. It always looks bigger in photos, in videos, whatever. Here's the potting station, and then I've got my double shelves here. I will say, you guys, I love the way it looks. This is kind of like my dream setup. But as things are getting bigger, I'm finding it more difficult to be able to house the plants that I need to house, like my scalp room. I'd love to have it lower so that I can enjoy the leaves, but they don't fit. It's too narrow, the shelves, they're too close together. So plants like this, where the leaves are getting really close to the top, I have to pull forward as much as possible. And then those lights are really not doing much. So I know that probably a lot of you guys who follow this channel follow Alice's channel too, and she did that new shelf install with the IKEA shelving. I don't know if you ever caught it in, I think it was a collab. Yeah, we did a collab where I was trying to tell her before to do that kind of shelving. I was like, it's slat shelving, it's store shelving, it's you hook it on, and I couldn't explain what it was, but it's exactly what she ended up choosing. That's what I was gonna do in this plant room before, but I was too lazy to actually install it, and two, I had nowhere else to put these shelves, and I didn't want to get rid of them. So ideally that would be the perfect setup, because then I can put the shelves a lot further apart from each other and then actually utilize the entire wall, because there's so much dead space up there. But just being realistic, it's probably not going to happen because I love these shelves too much. I don't want to get rid of them, and I don't know how much longer we're going to be in this unit, this apartment. It's not like we're wanting to move out, but I'm always just waiting for our landlord to say hey, we're gonna sell, and I just don't really want to invest the time to do a built-in shelf if I'm just gonna have to remove it anyway. So I'm gonna have to make do with whatever for now, and if that means having to pull out all of the plants to the very edge, then that's what we're gonna do. I am eventually going to change the lights in here. I think I'm actually gonna move my track lighting in here. My parents are gonna be coming in a few weeks, and it might be a project for my dad, because I kind of want to use these pendant lights out in the living room and then do track lighting here, because it just makes so much more sense. There's only a few plants out in my living room that are actually using the track lights now, so it would be utilized way better in here. But yeah, I showed you earlier down here, I have lights as well at the very bottom, and I have all my props and things like that under here. This bottom shelf is mainly for my young plants, rehab plants, some ugly plants, plants that I don't really want to be at the focal point right now. And then I keep all my really tiny plants down here, and then third shelf and above is where I keep all of my bigger ones. But yeah, nothing really much else. I hope that you guys didn't click this video thinking that I was gonna do like a show and tell of all of the plants in my plant room, because I kind of branded it as a plant room tour. I really just wanted to show you around. I think maybe eventually down the line I will do an updated video showing you like what all the plants look like in here right now, but that probably won't be for a while. There's a lot of plants coming out of rehabilitation and having thrips and spider mites and whatever. And if you guys watched my video where I left for California, you will know that I chopped almost everything down to one leaf. So things are kind of just starting to regrow now. It actually looks a whole lot better than I thought it was gonna look, faster than I thought it would. So anyway, yeah, that is that. I mentioned earlier that I wasn't gonna be using my closet anymore for plant supplies, and that's because I wanted to dedicate all of that to storage and my cleaning supplies. And also my mom is going to be giving me one of her old sewing machines because I want to get back into sewing. If you didn't know, I actually went to school for fashion design and merchandising. I know how to sew, and with Archie around, I want to be able to like make him clothes and like alter his clothes and do all that stuff and do projects around the house. I've been wanting to like install some curtains, and I just like can't stomach the thought of paying like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars for cheaply designed, cheap fabric curtains when I know I can make them myself for a fraction of the cost. So yeah, I'm kind of excited to be able to do like little craft things like that again, and it's something that I want to just get back into. And so I need a lot of that space for fabrics and sewing machine stuff in the closet. So the goal is to get all of the plant stuff out of the closet so that I have space for that. In general, I'm trying to just downsize the amount of plant things that I have and being a little bit more picky and choosy about what I need versus what I want. And that goes for plants as well. There's gonna be a lot more plants that I'm gonna be purging, and I know it's probably gonna look quite empty, but I'm really just preparing for things to get bigger. And so if I have less plants, it'll just make sense in terms of being able to fit all of them in here, because imagine all of the plants that I have here now with like big gigantic leaves. I just don't think it's gonna work. But other than that, I hope that you guys got some good tips on how to maybe style your plant room, organize your plant room, make the hobby easier for you. It is one thing that I just, again, I feel really passionate about, and I just wish more people would utilize organizational tools to make the hobby easier for them, because I don't know, I just feel bad when I see like people struggling, and like I can see how stressed they are, and I can see that their plant supplies are just kind of thrown everywhere, and I just want to scream like, just put them in bins or something, or like you can put things in pump bottles to like make your fertilization easier. And I don't know, there's a lot of different things that you can do to just like work smarter, not harder, basically. I will link a video that I did. That's kind of ringing a bell. I think I did a video about organizing a couple months ago. I'll link that if I can find it, but I hope you guys like the changes in my plant room. I feel like a new person, like honestly, and this room just like makes me so happy. This little space feels like my little sanctuary, and I just love being in here now. It feels less plant room and more like, I don't know, before it really just felt like a place to keep my plants, but now it's like a room that I just want to like sit in and enjoy and hang out and just like do my thing. So that's been really great, and I just want to rub off some of that onto you. Waft it, take it in, take it all in. Anyway, if you have any good organizational tips that you would like to share, please feel free to comment it in the comment section. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and I will see you in the next one.